Hey everybody, Stephen and John from Davenport European Martial Arts School. We had posted a video asking for suggestions of videos that you would like to see, and we've got some great responses. One of the responses we got was about quarterstaff. We have done videos on spear, halberd, spear versus halberd, things like that. But today I want to talk about the staff. One of the earliest weapons that has ever been carried by mankind, a big stick, and then hit something with it. We see the staff being used in German manuscripts, Italian manuscripts, Japanese manuscripts, Chinese, Filipino. We see them there. So how do we do it? And what makes a quarterstaff a quarterstaff? In the Italian tradition, and that's what I'm going to be speaking to today, it's called a quarterstaff because you hold on to 1/4 of it and 3/4 of it are between you and the opponent. And who's the most important person in the world?
I am.
Because I know I'm the most important person in the world, all of the measurements are to me. So my backhand goes the length of my forearm from the end. My lead hand goes the length of my forearm from the backhand. That's what gives me 1/4 of it in my hand and 3/4 of it between my opponent and myself. With this, it's important to remember that it's not a sledgehammer. I'm not using my lead hand to strike. I'm using my backhand to move my point around, the forend. Because it's a staff and not a spear, I can have a point on either side. So I'm just going to call this the forend and this the cue. Just understand that sometimes my forend and cue will change. Because the staff is a sapling, a tree, it will have a thinner end and a thicker end. I like to use the thicker end to hit the other guy with because more mass, less work. Some of them are very nice. This is the one I use normally. It's got a little knob right there. I like that because that transfers all the energy of this thick end into that little tiny point. That's how I know which one's mine. So with this action, what we're going to do is we're going to take our staff. Go ahead and back up a little bit for me. There we go. And from here, go ahead and cross stabs with me. My opponent's going to push my point off and stab me in the face. Pretty simple. Don't leave your lead hand out.
Okay.
There we go. Pull cue it.
Okay.
So that you get those, you can slide those hands together so you don't take your other hand off it in case you need it. So go ahead and do it again. That's the attack coming in. Now, because I dislike that, as he begins that action, he's already moving me to this direction. I'm going to step this way with my foot, counter it, but now I know he's going to try to yank it back. So I'm going to transfer and break his elbow. And the way we're going to do our transfer, and this is very important, when you do a transfer, you don't want to take one hand off and then switch because that's a lot of weight to try to hold with just one hand, especially if somebody's hitting it. So the way we do our transfer is you're going to slide your backhand up to your lead hand, open your bottom 3 fingers, so you're holding it with your index finger and thumb, slide your hand up to your index finger and thumb, over your hand so you never actually leave the staff. And that takes us back to the approximate position of your initial grip. So one more time, we're going to slide up, open, slide, don't leave, run over your hand to maintain contact. I can strike from my left to my right with my right foot forward, and there's times I'm going to want to. But in this drill, we're going to have it so that whichever side our stick is on, that foot is back. That way I'm not twisting my body and countering my own reach. So let's go ahead and do that action again. So we're in here. This time, I'm not going to move. Take it to this side of my head.
Yes, sir. Ready?
Yep. It's going to suck. Let's go and do it again. Now go straight for my face.
Okay.
That's as much as I'm moving. I'm not moving a lot out of the way. Let's go back to it again. Now as I move my foot, I'm going to use my staff to just beat his to the side. Then as he covers that, I'm going to dip my point down, lifting my cue up for my transfer, keeping it in front of me till I step forward. And the reason I want to keep it in front of me is I don't know how fast he is. He may be really good. And if I do my transfer like this, he might just stick me in the face because he's fast enough and he's strong enough to be able to do it. So I keep my staff in front of me so I still have protection. Let's go ahead and do it again.
Ready?
Ready. Into the blow on his elbow. I'm not trying to hit him in the head. I am aiming for his elbow because I can hit him in the head after he drops his staff. And remember, if you're going to kick somebody in the head, they're much easier to reach if they're already on the ground. You ready? No, we're not going to do that part. What I mean by that is I need to strike him so he's now thinking about something else so that I can hit him again. Right?
Yeah.
So let's do that again. This time I want you to go ahead and stab me on the secondary stab.
Got it.
Whew. So I can do this. And then I still got that protection there. Then I'm just going to cut down at his arm again. Am I going to hit your arm?
No.
No, I'm going to send it to the side. Then I'm going to hit you in the side of the head.
Yep.
So again, every action I do does not need to be a striking action. In that instance, I did an expulsion, which we see in classical fencing and rapier, and later into modern fencing as well. Let's switch sides and do it again, please.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to move, go past my head. Nice. Okay.
Ready?
Ready. So there's that strike to his wrist or his elbow. I actually struck by his elbow, but I was not on his elbow, so I slid to his wrist. I broke his arm. Let's go and do it again. And then, oh, stab me. Okay, so let's go and do it again. And let's do it again. This time, when I begin my transfer, stab me in the face, please.
Yes, sir. Ready?
Ready. Ooh, this time I did it with a half staff into the transfer. But because I left my staff in front of me, I was able to protect myself. Let's do that one more time.
Ready?
Ready. And there's my blow. So what we have here is just a little introduction to what you can do with the staff. When you're training with the staff, what I want you to really pay attention to, don't take your hand off the stick, because as soon as you do that, you lose control. That is not to say that we're never going to take our hand off the stick. There are techniques specifically where you do. What's one reason we would take a hand off our staff?
For one, protect the hand, or in this two.
If I take it off because I'm protecting it, what am I protecting it against?
A strike?
Right. So if I take my hand off and you hit where my hand was,
It's going to push it further away.
so I don't want to take my hand off to protect it from a strike. Instead, I'm going to move my hand, and that's where we get to half staff.
Okay.
Right?
The other reason I would see us removing our hand from that spot there is to be able to gain more distance with
yeah.
our strike.
So let's go to the edge of the screen. So if we're here, We're a long ways away.
We are.
But if I extend and I slide my other hand to the very bottom of the cue, and then I pass forward, it's a long reach.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, but it's there. There is a technique in Meyer where you take your hand, one hand off, and you actually swing it around your head. It will clear space around you. But in this system that we're doing right now, in this level of our practice, don't take your hand off your staff. Is there anything you'd like to add from what we did today?
Working with the tool here is you actually want to get the smallest circle you can make is the safest with the extended tool that you've got. Because the bigger your circle, the bigger your time, the more distance you're traveling, and you want to get them really quick with this. It doesn't have to be a hard hit, because you can just follow it up. Once I jab you in the nose with a big piece of wood like this, you're going to be thinking about that, and I can take care of anything else that I need to.
Another thing to remember is this is a force multiplier.
Yeah.
We don't need as much physical strength in the use of it because I have an amazing amount of leverage that I can utilize and put into my strike. So it's not about coming down as hard as you can. Again, like you've got a sledgehammer, I don't need to do that because I'm going to hit your stick, okay? I'm going to hit it hard.
Got it.
So if I'm here and I do it like a sledgehammer, I get that. Watch his shoulders. Do it again. All right? Good?
Good.
If I do it with a smaller action, I get the same strike.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and switch sides. If I do this, and I'm going to do it like a sledgehammer.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
The ground stops his staff. His shoulders can only move so far. Yeah, I put a lot of power into it. But do I need that much? Let me go ahead and do it the other way. Ready?
Ready.
Let me do it one more time. This time I'm going to do it with a transfer. Move forward just a little bit, please. There we go. Ready?
Ready. Ooh.
That one actually took it out of your hand, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
And it's not that I put a lot of strength into the action, but I did move it on the circle in my transfer. But just as importantly, while my point was moving around me, the defense was still in front of my body just in case. We want to thank you for joining us today. If you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button, which is somewhere down there. Hit the notification button because we have lots of videos coming out. And please share this video around with other people. If you have something that you'd like to see, please go ahead and put it in the comments. Till the next time, take care.